So there's another congruency that we see. Okay, what about the language? I can speak from the language that was used in newspaper. Both the Times and the Star using about a grade 10 level English, and often the photos that are displayed are simply to attract your attention, something that's a little more colorful, but not that necessarily pertains to the main story. Ashley, what did you find about the language used on the sources you monitored?
Okay, well, the terminology used to describe each important story could be understood by any, if not all, educational backgrounds. For the most part, the images shown on CNN and other news broadcasting stations spoke for themselves. The footage of Noord and Mohammed talk was very moving.
Okay.
It honestly felt like you were there and you were part of the raid and what it was going on for 17 long hours.
Of course, because they had the camera that was following exactly what was happening.
In the background was, of course, the guns. You could hear back noise, how they call it, background noise, with the explosions and stuff. Very moving.
What about your coverage you noticed online? Did you think that the language appealed to all people like television, or did you think it was exclusive like the newspapers that I monitored?
No, probably like the newspapers you monitored, seeing that they're local news and they have a wide range of audience, so they try to keep it simple language as possible, and they use photos when they need to use photos.
Okay. I wonder about taking a look at media that doesn't use images.
Yes, yes. I was about to mention it because radio is the only media when you cannot see pictures and you cannot see the person. So I think that's why they keep the news in a very clear language everybody can understand, and also the personality of the anchor is really important, and I actually enjoyed how much the flow is maintained at 680 News.
So you liked the anchors that were there?
Yes, yes.
You
yes,
found that you could
yes.
that the language that they use related to you.
Yes.
What
yes.
about you? You mentioned MR1 is the Hungarian network.
MR1, yes, yes. It after a while, their style is, to me at least, is a little tiresome. They tend to go to details and just go on and on and on, and I actually prefer when news is like more is like less is more, and then you can get more facts, and then you can sort out later what you think. I don't need to be told what these people think about. So that is a tendency with the Hungarian news.
It's interesting that you bring up what these people think about it. Do you think the coverage that you reviewed, was it biased or was it balanced?
I think it was balanced, but the 680 News, as I did a little statistics, they seem to cover mostly everything from the liberal point of view.
Okay, and MR1, you mentioned that they went on about their personal opinion on things. That would sound like a bit of a bias to me. Is it a liberal bias over there as well?
Well, I'm not familiar with the details of that level of the Hungarian politics, like which anchor represents which party, but I see tendency for that. Yes, definitely. For being off a little from objectiveness.
Okay, so you do think there is a bias there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Dwayne, was the information that you reviewed online biased or balanced? Sum it up for us.
Well, I think it's balanced. It's very hard to, well, it was for me anyways, to figure out if there was any biases comparing the online sources that I used, because I think they could be biased any other given day or balanced any other given day.
So there wasn't a clear, like there wasn't language that they used that clearly said we support the Liberals on this side of the election. There was nothing that clearly said we support the Conservatives.
No, especially when they gave each party relevant coverage each day
Okay.
leading up to the survival of the Harper government on Friday.
Okay, so it does sound like very balanced. And television? What did you think about television?
Yeah, for the most part, I have to say equality played a large part in the stories, with the exception, of course, of the election. I found CBC had a very liberal point of view perspective, somewhat pursuing their viewers, whereas, you know, Global and City TV were a bit less biased, announcing the stories and keeping to the facts, strictly to the facts.
Okay, I can speak from the perspective of newspapers. The Toronto Star has a very liberal bias on pretty much everything that they talk about, and the New York Times is very good at being balanced. So I would say it was interesting to see the way that news is handled on both sides of the border, and how one can be biased and one can be completely balanced.
I have to agree.
I wonder why.
Well, everybody has opinion on politics, and politics is part of everyday life, and these people consciously or subconsciously are aware that they have actually power to shape how people process news.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And of course, just to quickly add to that, I think the Toronto Star is most keen to middle-class readers. The middle class who tend to be more likely to be liberal.
Are there any closing comments anyone would like to make in regards to our conversation today? We had a chance to review radio, online, television, and news media, newsprint media. Is there anything that anyone would like to sum up? I think your statement that you just made about the media being powerful, whether they know it or not, that they can affect us. That's very interesting and very pointed.
And I think for people, for everybody, it's very important to listen news from more than one source.
I have to agree.
Yes.
From more than one source. Do you think that tuning into CP24 and CNN both?
Yeah, or whether it be from television or radio or online.
Yes.
And Dwayne, do you have any closing comments?
No, I enjoyed my time here on the panel today.
Excellent.
And
well, I would like to thank Ildiko, Dwayne, and Ashley for coming to today. Again, our coverage today was about news media, and I'd like to thank you for tuning in. Have a wonderful day.